Did you know that the first atheist philosophers boiled the truths of the world down to the facts of something exists and it changes? It became a discussion about substance versus process. I just find it interesting that even when we go back to the 6th century BC, we are seeing things in duality. We have substance versus process. When we look at the brain, we have the left and right brain. We have logic and emotion. We have in parenting, accountability and acceptance. In religion, we have works and we have faith. We have this duality that exists, and instead of it being a spectrum of like, well, if you're going toward this side, then it's only this, and then you're going toward this side, and then it's only that. There's actually a middle ground that exists between these. These things are independent of themselves, and they can coexist in a way that they can both be implemented simultaneously. And it's not like when we go toward this side, we're going away from that side, and when we go toward here, we're going away from that. They are intertwined, but exist independently, if that makes sense. I'm doing a whole book study on my second account throughout Lent. It's a book called After the Natural Law, and it's really giving me a lot of insight into how the scientific view of the world is, how these atheist philosophers understood the world, and how Aristotle, Plato, St. Thomas Aquinas, how these major religious scholars and philosophers came forward and integrated it in to their understanding of how religion works, that it's not these things are a spectrum, but rather they exist independently. They are valid in and of themselves, and they can be intertwined, and it's not a this or that, but rather let's study the arc that's between them. How do they integrate together? And how can we get away from this all or nothing mentality? How can we get away from the extremes of either I belong to this camp or I belong to this camp? I think my biggest takeaway from just starting this is, first off, there is so much in the world that I don't know, and I'm so excited to be able to learn more of it. Secondly, happy to defer authority to people who have spent their life developing this type of content and spent their literal being to leave these types of legacies that have sustained themselves for longer than 2,000 years. I just love the validity of these types of discussions, and I love how relevant and applicable they can be in our day-to-day life as we do move forward into how we want to live and how we want to be and how we want to become. If it sounds interesting to you, hop over to my second account and I'll look forward to dialoguing with you there throughout Lent. Have a great day.